Next up, at UFC Vegas 84, we have Westin Wilson taking on Jean Silva. Westin Wilson, 16-8 overall. He is 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a knockout loss in his UFC debut. He's taking on Jean Silva, 11-2 overall. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He is riding an 8-fight win streak into his official UFC debut. You can see this line took off. Jean Silva opened at -350. Made sense. UFC debut. You know, got a good amount of fights under his belt. Pretty one-dimensional guy. Boom, that line steamed. And I don't think it has anything to do with Jean Silva. It has everything to do with people's feelings about Westin Wilson, which I do think are a little bit unfair. Because, yes, Westin Wilson's striking is that karate style, which outside of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, we don't see a lot of people have any real success with that karate style.
Well, he's best friends with Wonderboy, so.
Okay. So he's got that Wonderboy striking style, but not nearly as good. He's got those low hands, all that in and out movement, but he is very hittable. Unlike Wonderboy, he is very, very hittable. He is hesitant, doesn't let his hands go. When he does hit a flow and when you let him play that game, he'll rush forward, he'll throw heavy, super long, and maybe he doesn't have a ton of success on his feet using that range and that reach, but on the ground, he's got that long guy jiu-jitsu. He's wrapping things up, using the legs, using the arms. He'll throw up triangles. He'll get things in scrambles. Like, he's very long, very tricky, and he makes it happen on the ground, so you do need to be worried with him on the ground. On your feet, you're pretty safe. Jean Silva is going to be safe on the feet. This guy's a powerful striker. He's loose. He's creative, fun to watch. He does get into weird positions at times because he is just doing fun stuff. But he's going to go from like super tight guard, like right here, boom, boom, throwing what he's supposed to throw.
Ooh.
Then he'll get like wild and loose and start spinning and doing crazy stuff. What I love to see is this dude will throw, lower his level, and then bang, come to the body, then come back up to that. Striking is phenomenal. Ton of fun to watch. Takedown defense is solid. Tons of power. He's going to win this fight. He's going to knock out Westin Wilson. Jean Silva inside the distance. But these odds are too far gone. -900 is too far gone. It's what are you going to do with that? To get an extra $10 on a parlay? Don't do it. It's not worth it. We've seen it time and time again in a sport like this. You know, when he was -350, even -500, you know, slap it together with a few things. -900, I think all that value is gone. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah. I don't want to misconstrue too much of the final outcome of what I'm going to pick in this fight, but I just got to say that I have no idea, and I've tweeted this, and I talked about it in Discord. You guys can join the Discord. Discord's 100% free, by the way. We have a lot of fun in there, and then if you consider becoming a pre-member, you can link that and get live alerts. But I have no idea what Jean Silva has shown or done to deserve a -900 price tag versus anybody. I don't care who he's fighting. At this point, when I watch this guy fight, yeah, he's got power, but this isn't like some young prospect that's just been kind of mowing through everybody that everyone's like, oh, did you see Jean Silva finally? He's finally on Contender Series, and oh, Jean Silva on Contender Series. I can't wait till he gets to the UFC. He's a young prospect that people are talking about. He just isn't that guy. He probably should win this fight. Right? Because 1 + 1 should equal 2. He's a powerful guy. Westin Wilson fights like he wants to get knocked out. He's got the hands low, and he doesn't move around a lot. But I'm telling you right now that Jean Silva fights like he is a -900 prospect, but I don't think he is. And to that, I mean, he is a confident guy in there. He mention he does some wild stuff, and he'll kind of take his time, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to throw a right hand, and now I'm fucking, playing around, and there's another right hand. And when you start fucking around in the UFC, especially against people that have as much experience as Westin Wilson, you saw in that Brito fight, I mean, debut against Joanderson Brito. I mean, that guy's a fucking buzzsaw for anybody. Took a right hand, got dropped a little bit, but started engaging in the scrambling. He didn't panic. He's a veteran in this game. He knew how to get to the legs and really threaten a dangerous position for Joanderson Brito in that fight. And Jean Silva started fucking around. And this fight slowly gets to 3 minutes into the first round. 4 minutes into the first round. 5 minutes. All of a sudden, the first round's over, and Westin Wilson's still hanging around. This is going to be a very interesting fight in my mind. I think Westin Wilson is good enough to to keep the distance. If he's poking that karate stuff out, I think John Silva's going to be like, oh, karate, and just kind of fuck around for the first round. And then if it gets out of the first round, we'll see what happens. I think Westin Wilson has a chance to get this fight to the ground and do something. I think John Silva minus 900 is fucking insane. He is going to be my pick, right? Because Westin Wilson does fight like, oh, knock me out, please. And John Silva has that power and ability. But, this is, I'm staying away from this one completely.
Yeah, the value is gone. If we had a minus 400, even minus 5, if we had a minus 500 fighter here, it's like, all right, you know what? Like, he should win this fight. I don't know what the implied probability is to go from what minus 500 is probability-wise. But we have a calculator on our website that will tell you. That's free, weonpicks.com. That'd be a different story. But minus 900, to your point, the value's gone. Westin Wilson has beaten 16 people. Everybody pretending that this guy's just absolutely awful, terrible. It's like, dude, he's beaten people. And like, yeah, Joe Anderson, Brito, okay.
Cool.
There's not a lot of people that could show up on short notice in a UFC debut and not have a problem. And John Silva has been smoked 2 times.
And I will say that if Westin Wilson had the striking defense that I would like to see to be able to at least kind of block it a little bit in case, because if something comes and he's not
there's
dodging,
no defense there.
Yeah, he's getting hit. If he had any type of striking defense, I was really considering this guy for lock of the week. That's how inflated these odds are. I don't think John Silva is that good, but he does like to get hit, and that's no bueno.
No, it's 100% the biggest issue. And that karate style, you're either amazing at it, like Wonder Boy and true OG fans.
Right.
Remember the Dragon?
Ryan Hall, he's good at it.
Lyoto Machida.
Those two training with Wonder Boy. That's why he's so good at his game.
Jesus Christ. Those two showed up, and their karate style movement, striking defense is incredible. Throws people off. The timing is weird. People don't know what to do with it. But if you don't do it well, then you're just that dude doing promo videos like karate. Poof, done. And unfortunately, that's what we might have here. But I'm with Jacob. There's no value on John Silva. It's not worth the money for John Silva, especially a guy. I think the gap on the ground is incredibly wide. So he's got to get it there, though. But Westin Wilson, if he stays tough, to your point, he could frustrate Jean, get it to the ground, and it could be a tricky night. $9,600 in DraftKings, though, that is where it gets tricky because in all likelihood, Jean Silva wins this fight and wins by finish. But if it's striking only, he's going to need to either drop Westin Wilson a couple of times to get those 10 points or finish him in under a minute to get near that $9,600. Like this could be, Jean Silva could finish Westin Wilson and still only score 80 points, 90-something points. And then he's not worth that DraftKings money. You going to have him in your lineup?
I think he's gonna fuck around, man. I think there's gonna be I think Saturday there's gonna be a lot of people with him in a lot of parlays. I'm sure that's why his line moved like crazy, right? It was already inflated, so then people just started loading him into parlays. I think there's gonna be a moment where people will be like, "What is this guy doing? Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, oh no, like fuck it." We'll see though.
Yeah, I mean, he should win, and I don't think it's the worst play in the world to throw him in your DraftKings lineup. He's probably going to be the safest, or one of the safest, but he could be a disappointment for sure if he puts up 80-something points because, to Jacob's point, he was playing games. If you want to check out the DraftKings Optimizer, the DraftKings Plays, the DraftKings Insight, and all of that, as well as bets and picks and round line leans and 8 analysts worth of information, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 a month and is the greatest value in this space, period, end of story. That is a month. That includes every event in that 30-day time span. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.